In Chapter 15 of The Wrong 10 Seconds, we'll check in with Phoebe following her sharing of the video. We are halfway through these video chapters now, so things have been accelerating, but there's still time for our unlikely heroes to try and sort it all out. Chapter 15, Phoebe, Tuesday. Things were better for Phoebe now all hell had broken loose. Mum and Kaylee saw the video on Facebook the next day, and Kaylee screeched her carefully coiffed head off about how could Phoebe have kept quiet about this? Why did she make the family suffer for no reason when she could prove someone else was involved? Dad called Phoebe a ginger genius, and she wasn't sure whether he was being sarcastic, seeing as he was ginger himself. Still bleary-eyed because she'd been up late pondering, she stood in front of them in her pajamas, shuffling her bare feet on the gritty floor. Don't you ever want people to believe you just because you're you, not because they have proof? I don't know what you're on about, Mum sighed. Least it's over now, Dad grumbled, heading out the door for work. They seriously hadn't got a clue. Something being all over social media was only the beginning. Phoebe turned on her phone to go for one of her walks, to feed herself with art. No, better not. It was nearly 8. Too many people about. Her phone pinged. A text from one of those lads. How's the dog shagger this morning? Phoebe frowned. There were 2 more messages like it, all from this morning. What was Shiana doing? Sending each of their classmates handwritten snail-carried letters to set things right? Phoebe tapped Facebook's innocent-looking blue icon. On Shiana's page, there was no mention of the video. Hell. Shit. Right. It had been a bit mad at Shiana's house yesterday morning. Mrs. Harrow took Phoebe's phone, her taut, glassy-nailed fingers swooping down like a talon. She'd watched the 10-second clip with lips pressed tight, while Shiana paced and squealed that she couldn't bear seeing someone be cruel to Nikki. Then Mrs. Harrow messaged the video to herself, muttering what a crap model Phoebe's Samsung was. The video arrived on the fitness instructor's phone with a playful chime. In less than a minute, Mrs. Harrow had dispatched the video to Facebook and Twitter like the Wicked Witch unleashing her winged monkeys. Shiana hadn't viewed it once. Her mother described it. Some old bastard basically assaulted that poor puppy with shopping trolleys. And Shiana shuddered with attempted sobs and ran to the sofa to pinch a dozing Nikki's face in her hands and wail about the cruel world. He didn't actually seem cruel, Phoebe said, but Shiana was busy performing her drama, and Mrs. Harrow studied her phone, which trilled a barrage of retweet and Facebook share alerts. Can I see? Mr. Harrow asked Phoebe quietly. Staring, she passed him the phone. His face looked more lined than before, his eyes mapped and red. Why wasn't he with that other woman? Her hands weren't like talons. He watched the video 3 times. First, his eyes widened, crimping the lines and showing more red. His breath shot sharply in. Then he swallowed hard, his Adam's apple doing a slow, gloomy dance, before he turned to his wife. It's so hard to tell what happened from this clip. Do you really have to... Are you blind? She hissed. That lunatic could have killed Shiana's present, going after the dog like that. Huh, maybe you are blind. That would explain a lot. Mr. Harrow still clutched Phoebe's phone. His hands shook. But this man, he whispered. Shiana charged back in, glaring at Phoebe, brushing dog hair off her hands and ignoring Nikki, who followed hopefully. I can't believe you saw someone hurt Nikki and didn't do anything about it. You really are. He wouldn't hurt her, Phoebe quavered, her hands clenched in her hoodie pockets. I thought he was nice. I didn't think he was going to... You've let Shiana go through absolute hell these last couple of weeks, Mrs. Harrow stated without looking up from her phone. Sorry, Phoebe muttered. I wasn't sure the video would help. Especially since any idiot could tell Shiana cared more about attention than she cared about the dog, who now sniffed dejectedly at a pair of flip-flops by the door. Mrs. Harrow smiled. Justice always helps. And truth, right, Paul? He looked at the floor. Justice and truth, the 2 words spiraled around Phoebe's mind the next morning while she showered and dressed to go to Shiana's. Those things seemed as unrealistic as oases and sand dunes. Justice was people getting what's coming to them, and it didn't look as if that would happen any time soon. And could you confine truth to a single photo or video? What's true for 10 seconds might not be true later. Like, it was super hot outside, true, but it wasn't true last week. Shiana let her in without saying much. She was texting with Megan, who was on holiday in Spain all week. Lucky bitch, Shiana muttered. At least the sun's out here, too. Phoebe sat on Shiana's floor, clutching her knees to her chest and studying her toenails, cuticles and all. Shiana laughed. So? But you can't even tan, can you, Ginge, with your pasty face? I don't want a tan. Really? How stupid would that look? Shiana ignored her, but Phoebe went on. Why, your phone's out? As if Phoebe's phone ever wasn't out. But Phoebe tried not to sound completely random, as if her life didn't completely depend on a good word from Shiana. Maybe you could tell people I didn't do anything to your dog? Huh? You know, because people are still sending me stuff about dogs, like because of what you put on Facebook the other day. Shiana twirled a strand of hair around her finger and snapped her gum. Oh, that. Lol. That's just bants, isn't it? I don't know. Some of your friends were they got well angry at me for no true reason. Phoebe picked at a scruffy-edged fingernail. So if you could tell them to not be angry? Fine, I will. Calm down. Phoebe took a deep breath. Thanks. She opened her sketchbook to draw patterns like the one on Shiana's quilt cover. Shiana put on a music video channel and beautiful people sang in strange color filters about things that didn't interest Phoebe at all. But they kept Shiana entertained and even humming badly, so Phoebe relaxed. The doorbell rang. Nikki barked and barked, running up and down the hall, her claws skidding on the hardwood floors. Will you behave? Shiana hissed at the puppy, shoving her away while she fumbled with the locks. Ginge, get Nikki out of the way. Phoebe reluctantly approached. What the dog lacked in size, she made up for in energy. Nikki dashed to Phoebe, and Shiana opened the door. Miss Harrow? Inspector Riddle. We met last week. Hi! Shiana's voice went all high and sweet, sharp in Phoebe's ears, while the dog tried to nose Phoebe's crotch. Somebody should invent a dog smart enough not to do that. A policeman came in, tall and mustached. Are your parents home? He asked. They're working. Shiana tucked her hair behind her ears. But I can help you. Are you aware your mother posted a video pertaining to the incident with your dog? Oh, yeah, we just found out about that video yesterday. Found out. Sure, Phoebe had been no help at all. She grasped the dog's horrid wet nose in her palm, trying to push it away without looking mean. I must admit, at the station we were taken by surprise. The officer's tone was calm, but it sent a shivery thrill through Phoebe. This just might be someone who wasn't impressed by Shiana. Since you'd filed a complaint, we thought we'd be the first to hear of any developments in order to help with our investigation. Oh, I don't know. My mom's kind of handling it for me because I'm so upset, you know? Shiana let the dog run back to her and gave Nikki some firm pats on the rump. The inspector continued, Fairfords didn't know anything about the video either. It wasn't from their CCTV cameras. It seems to have been filmed from the corner by the newsagent. Do you know the video's source, Miss Harrow? Source? Where it came from. He stood completely still, not rocking on his toes or ruffling his hair or fiddling with his pockets the way other people, grown up or not, did. That must be what confidence looked like, being able to stand and focus. Phoebe watched the officer. There was something trustworthy about a person who trusted themselves, and who didn't seem to trust Shiana. Shiana obviously didn't want to bring Phoebe into things, so she could keep hogging the attention. She filmed it. Shiana waved at Phoebe. She was supposed to be looking after Nikki. Haven't you talked to her before? I mean, it was kind of her fault. The policeman turned to Phoebe, taking a notebook from his pocket. No, I haven't. You didn't wish to identify her at the time. What's your name, miss? Wait, what? Had they asked about her and Shiana refused to answer? The police should have just looked at Shiana's Facebook. Phoebe's name was strewn all over it like rubbish on the council estate. Maybe these investigators weren't so clever after all. As usual, Phoebe's weird internal questions cost her, and Shiana spoke up first. She's Phoebe Taylor. She hangs out here a lot. She has special needs. Phoebe looked at the floor, her face on fire. No one would listen to her now, even if she wanted to say anything. Pleased to meet you, Miss Taylor, the officer said. I'm Inspector Riddle. Now, can you tell me about why you took the video? She's always taking pictures and videos, said Shiana. What happened leading up to this particular recording? The inspector stepped toward Phoebe, around the dog sniffing his shoes. You could tell that guy was dodgy, couldn't you? That will do, Miss Harrow. Rittle's blue eyes were softer than Shiana's, sky instead of ice. Actually, he was really nice, I thought, choked Phoebe. Shiana gave a snorty laugh of disdain. What new horrors would she inflict if Phoebe told more of the story? Guess I was wrong. Phoebe shrugged. Inspector Riddle made a note. Is that why you waited before revealing the video clip? I forgot about it till now. Still holding his notebook, he watched her for another minute. She stayed frozen as if he was a monstrous predator and might forget she existed if she didn't move. Shiana jittered in her flowered pumps and brought the conversation back to herself. So the video will help you catch him, right? I know who he is, Inspector Riddle said mildly as he folded his notes away and headed back to the door. Shiana's face lit up. You do? Yes. Fairford's management recognized him and terminated his job immediately. Phoebe swallowed hard, a sourness in her mouth. What had she done? No, this was Shiana's fault. Phoebe fixed her gaze on her, willing her to reveal her vicious nature to the authorities. But Shiana managed to smother the glint in her eye and damp down her giggles. She sighed instead. Right, I mean, he's caused me and my family so many problems. As soon as the policemen left, Shiana's laughter exploded and she took out her phone. OMG, that's so wicked. He lost his job. What a sado. Phoebe stood rooted to the polished, dark floorboards. There had been such tender interest in the man's voice when he talked to the dog. He'd wanted her freedom. Freedom, one of those impossible words like justice and truth. How could anyone be free with other people around? And being nice. She added that to the abstracts list on her mental whiteboard. The Fairfords man seemed so nice, so unexpected. But no one was really nice. Not for more than a few seconds. Not once you had disagreed with them. Shiana skipped past Phoebe, heading back to the bedroom. Well done, Ginge, by the way. You totally did sound retarded. That's the end of chapter 15, and I'll try and get a couple more chapters up tomorrow. Thanks.